We're talking about deep learning for Earth system science, but is deep learning deep enough? What does it mean? Well, we said deep learning is basically machine learning with multiple layers. And here we are talking about deepening the deep layer, deepening the deep learning by adding layers of physical constraints and information as the machine learning and deep learning are doing their things. You have inputs, data, models, whatever. You have steps to get the output. Could be a prediction, could be an understanding of, let's say, interactions between our favorite example of fishermen, larvae of the dragonflies, bees, and vegetation through pollination, and so on. So if you give it all the data, is deep learning able to do all that? Well, sometimes you have to add additional information. For example, ecosystems integrate the environmental variables. Ecosystems, vegetation cares about temperature, humidity, precipitation, and of course soil nutrients, carbon, etc. But when you give it precipitation, temperature, and humidity, does the deep learning know what to do with it? Go through the stomatal conductance and optimize the stomatal opening for CO2 capture and so on and so forth. So you can imagine that other than just the data, you will have to give it some layers, deeper layers of physical information. Let's call it physical constraints if we want. But that's how you can find examples where we have to deepen the deep learning to make sure that we are getting the emergent patterns, emergent constraints, internal feedbacks in the system, how stomatal conductance changes if CO2 increases, for example. It doesn't have to remain open very long, but what does it do to the water that's been brought up? Because water is lost when the stomata opens. If the stomata doesn't open as long, then you are saving some water. Does that water go back out of the roots? So these are all very, very many funny examples of how the complex system actually interacts and behaves, and models try to do all that. But now can we add deep learning with deeper layers to do this better, faster, and cheaper, and so on? Okay, we'll be combining models and deep learning, of course. Okay, see you in the next topic.